activity, certainly at this stage. Israel hasn't come under attack. But as I said, all I can tell you is that Israeli radio and television are reporting that the attack on Baghdad has begun.
Peter Cave. And Doug Weller is on the line from Washington. Sorry, we'll try to get back to Doug Weller.
A great deal of activity in that city, anti-aircraft fire. CNN correspondent John Holloman is in Baghdad. Here's part of what he's been saying.
Shooting up into the night sky. I'm going to leave our microphone in the window on the hope you're able to hear what we have here. We're going to try to evacuate our room, and we'll let you listen in on this microphone for a short time.
That just came through from Baghdad a short time ago. There is a great deal of activity at the Pentagon. Officials there are apparently running through the corridors. It's not clear if it's because something is actually happening or they're actually reacting to those press reports. We do have a report now to say a squadron of F-15 fighters have left an airbase in Saudi Arabia. Also, I've just been handed this. The White House has no immediate comment on whether hostilities have begun in the Persian Gulf. Marlon Fitzwater, the presidential spokesperson, was asked by reporters what is going on. He replied, "I'll tell you as soon as I can." And there are more reports saying that there are explosions in Baghdad at the moment. This is Doug Weller in Washington.
The ABC's Greg Wildsmith is in Amman in Jordan.
Relatively few Iraqis were to be seen in the streets of central Baghdad when we left the capital earlier today. The threat of war has caused many citizens to travel to their hometowns and villages where their families would be safer. And other than young soldiers cramming onto the buses at the local bus station, there was no great sign of military activity in Baghdad, other than, of course, the visit by the President Saddam Hussein to Kuwait, where he reviewed the troops and guaranteed them that there would be no back down on the UN deadline on Kuwait. Greg Wildsmith in Amman.
Two United States journalists in Baghdad say parts of the city, including the section they are in, have been blacked out. They say they can see tracer fire to the south and in the direction of the presidential palace. They say the bombing began about 2:30 a.m. Baghdad time. It's a clear night in the Iraqi capital, and the activity can be seen clearly from their hotel. The Prime Minister's office in Canberra is refusing to comment on reports that conflict may have begun in the Middle East. The spokesman says the office is aware of strong reports from the US television network that 25 US aircraft have taken off from Saudi Arabia, with the PM's office apparently aware from other sources for some time of signs of activity. A spokesman at the government's newly established Gulf Media Centre in Parliament House says there's nothing definitive at this stage. Reports of US airfire in Baghdad have sent the Australian dollar up over the 79 US cent mark. A short time ago, the dollar was trading at 79.1 US cents as investors seek out safe haven currencies, and foreign exchange dealers say it looks set to go higher. Australia's status as an energy exporter makes the Australian dollar more attractive. Just repeating, correspondents of two American television networks have reported seeing a hail of gun flashes in the sky over the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. The ABC and CNN television networks say there were also explosions indicating the city could be under air attack. The main activity was around Saddam International Airport. CNN correspondent John Holloman said his hotel building was shaking from the effects of the explosions. CBS TV also reported from Washington that congressional leaders had been summoned to the White House. The Prime Minister has called a news conference for 12:15. Now we cross to ABC Current Affairs.
Of national weather details. Mount Isa, thunderstorms 32, Cairns showers 29, Townsville morning rain 29, Rockhampton a few showers 31, Maryborough a few showers 31, Toowoomba rain at times 26, Brisbane a few showers 28. Sydney mainly fine 26, Coffs Harbour 27, Port Macquarie 26, Newcastle and Wollongong both mainly fine 27, Orange 24, Dubbo 32, Griffith 33, Wagga Wagga 31, Port Wodonga 31, Canberra becoming unsettled 28. Hobart fine 24, Launceston fine 24, Melbourne fine 25, Perth Valley 25, Ballarat 25. Indigo 28, Mildura 35. Throughout South Australia and in Broken Hill it will be fine. Adelaide 33, Mount Gambier 25, Renmark 36, Broken Hill 32, Port Augusta 37, Port Pirie 37, Whyalla 35. Perth fine 36, and apologies, no details as yet from the regional western areas. And Darwin, showers about 32. But then breakfast on XCFM stereo continues for the march by speech composer Doug Buren.
at all HBF branches for just $3 a tube. Now that's more like it. It gives 15 plus protection, won't harm your skin, and take note beachgoers, it's water resistant for up to 2 hours. All that for just $3 a tube. Excellent value. So before you go down to the beach, pick up your sunscreen at any HBF branch. And you don't even have to be a member. Bills, bills, bills. You can burn them, tear them up, and throw them out because Bill Busters are coming. Look out for Bill Busters at all Coles New World stores, and you could share in $100,000 prize money. Listen to the new 92.9 6 p.m. FM for details of Bill Buster specials, or look for them every Wednesday in the West Australian. Purchase any Bill Buster item, and you could win $200 to help pay off those bills. We'll start announcing Coles New World Bill Buster winners on Monday.
If you're looking for something different this weekend, get down to the Leopold Hotel for 3 nights of good fun with top entertainment. Tomorrow night, enjoy a famous Leopold smorgasbord, or you can eat for $9.95 with Peter D providing the laughs. On Saturday night at the Leopold, enjoy a dinner dance with Perth's Hop Shoppers. And on Sunday, crazy karaoke returns with yours truly, John DeVallis, from 5 o'clock. Be a star in 3 minutes or cop the gong. This weekend, have a good time. The Leopold Hotel, Canning Highway, Picton.
Today, if you go to the department stores to buy a pair of pants, you get a pair of pants. If you go to the fashion stores to buy a pair of pants, you get a pair of pants. But today at Jeans West, buy a pair of pants and you get a shirt to match free. It's Jeans West's amazing free shirt offer. Buy any pair of men's pants, they're all one price, $49.95. And Jeans West will give you a shirt free. Get into Jeans West today.
92.9, 6 p.m. FM.
It's 31 degrees, continuing hot today with a top of 36. Good morning, I'm Harvey Deegan.
And I'm Amanda Walsh with 6 p.m. FM News at 8:30.
The Persian Gulf War has begun. The American military command in Saudi Arabia says war with Iraq began this morning our time as a squadron of US fighter bombers took off from the largest Allied airbase in central Saudi Arabia. Here's the latest from CBS.
We had reports from Baghdad just a few minutes ago of explosions of anti-aircraft tracer fire there. CBS News Pentagon correspondent David Martin gives us his best estimate as to what might be going on.
But I do not believe there are any U.S. aircraft over Baghdad at this moment. I'm told that that has not yet happened. Now, maybe somebody got there before he was supposed to. It is possible, I think, that these are not manned aircraft, but Tomahawk cruise missiles. Those are low-flying, subsonic missiles that can be fired from battleships and cruisers that are in the Persian Gulf. And they have a range, I believe, of 1,200 miles, so they could reach Baghdad from the Persian Gulf. Now, obviously, the advantage of using cruise missiles is you're not risking a pilot's life. You could target them against the kinds of air defenses that would threaten a pilot. But the cruise missile carries a relatively small warhead.
Martin had reported earlier that the U.S. intelligence agencies had evidence that Iraq's President Saddam Hussein had begun moving his chemical weaponry out of storage facilities and closer to the southern border with Saudi Arabia, to within range of Allied forces there. And that, says Pentagon correspondent Martin, would certainly be an invitation for the Allies to attack sooner rather than later. Correspondent Bob Simon in Saudi Arabia confirms the air activity there.
The command in Saudi Arabia has not yet announced a thing. However, we've just received a report from an airbase in central Saudi Arabia saying that a squadron of F-15s took off not very long ago. At this airbase where I'm standing, just outside an airbase in eastern Saudi Arabia, there were some 20 aircraft or fighters that took off in a period of 45 minutes. There's also been an unusual amount of road traffic into the airbase over the last hour. Just a while ago, a convoy of what looked like school buses came in, presumably loaded with personnel. We can confirm nothing at this point other than a report from central Saudi Arabia that a squadron of F-15s has taken off heading north.
Meanwhile, White House spokesman Marlon Fitzwater has confirmed the attack against Iraq.
As of 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Operation Desert Storm forces were engaging targets in Kuwait and Iraq. President Bush will address the nation at 9 o'clock p.m. tonight from the Oval Office.
Marlon Fitzwater, and that's 10 o'clock Perth time. And Prime Minister Bob Hawke will address the nation at 9:15 this morning on Australia's continued commitment in the Gulf War.
Australian financial and equity markets have been jolted by knee-jerk trading following the first news that anti-aircraft guns have opened fire above Baghdad. The Aussie dollar jumped sharply to 79.1 US cents, but bonds and bills have been sold off quickly. Dealers say the market is extremely nervous. The Australian Stock Exchange has suspended trading for 10 minutes, from 10 past 8 to 20 past 8 this morning, following the first news of the Gulf War.
Just repeating, war has broken out in the Persian Gulf. There have been explosions around Baghdad, anti-aircraft tracer fire has been seen, and the US Central Military Command in Saudi Arabia has confirmed the outbreak of war.
In other international news, in Brazil, the alleged head of a death squad suspected of murdering nearly 50 poor and homeless children in the Rio de Janeiro area has been arrested by authorities. In Boston, doctors have developed a computer program which they say can help women with breast cancer see how risky it would be if they chose not to have chemotherapy. And in Tokyo, millionaire adventurer Richard Branson and his Swedish co-pilot Per Lindstrand have flown their giant hot air balloon out of trouble and into the record books. To sports news, and in cricket, Australian Simon O'Donnell has hit out at critics who've labelled him as a one-day player only. O'Donnell says he believes he has the credentials to represent Australia at test level. He says he hopes he's included in the Australian squad for the forthcoming tour of the West Indies.
If I was lucky enough to go to the West Indies, I'd be wrapped, but I've had an absolute gut full of people saying they can only play one-day cricket. We play a 4-day Shield game, we've got another 4 Shield games to go. I'm interested in putting the white clothes on and showing people you can bowl and bat instead of saying we only play one-day cricket.
Simon O'Donnell. In golf, host professional Ian Baker Finch is the favourite for the $700,000 Classic starting today at Sanctuary Cove on Queensland's Gold Coast. The Pines course at Sanctuary Cove is officially Australia's hardest layout, and Baker Finch's knowledge is expected to give him a winning edge. He fired 67 in yesterday's Pro-Am, equal with Ireland's Ronan Rafferty and one behind Peter O'Malley of New South Wales. And repeating the news from the Persian Gulf, war has broken out, and 6 p.m. FM News will keep you up to date with the latest developments from that arena.
West Coast weather fine with northeasterly winds. Today's top 36 degrees, the fire danger very high. Tomorrow on Saturday will be hot. It's currently 31 degrees, 8 above average. That's the news right up to the minute at 24 to 9. And now Gary Shannon with more of the greatest hits on the new 92.9 6 p.m. FM.